I'm just walking down the street, I'm a fucking noob, yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
noob with the level 12 green leveling helm.
what, me?
You want some dope-ass Gladiator mounts? Huh? I know you want this bad boy, right? It's fucking amazing. You wanna sit on an armored dragon as well, don't you? Huh? I got exactly what you're looking for. I got all the good stuff. I don't even need to play the game anymore on this mount. I just pretend to be AFK and enjoy all the noobs standing around my mount, praising me for a fucking god like I am.
I mean, I guess that would be kinda nice.
Then you need to watch Thyraz' new video.
But he's super inactive and never uploads any videos.
Either you shut the f up right now, or I'll shove that green leveling helm so far up your... I got a gift for you.
Most people don't actually know what their objective in 3v3 is, but in this video I'm going to reveal all the secrets on how to become an above average player. With the tools and the knowledge that I will share with you today, you will be able to become a gladiator. I'll be explaining how high-rated players think during arena games and what's going through their heads in some very specific situations. I will show you a few situations that I've recorded myself and explain to you in a very detailed way exactly what's going on and why I make the decisions that I do. So have you ever went up against a really good arena team that just dominated yours and you just couldn't figure out what made them so good or how they were able to react to everything you did so quickly? Well, let me tell you this from a high-rated player's perspective. It's not that we have insanely quick reaction speeds, even though that does obviously help if you're able to react quickly. But most of the time, the reason why we're so much faster is simply because we already know what our enemy's next move is, and we always plan 1 or 2 steps ahead. So, for example, if you look at this clip here, do you think I had time to sit there during that cast and think, the paladin is casting a heal, would it be worth kicking this? No, you don't have time to figure that out as it happens. You need to think about that beforehand. So I already know that this paladin is going to cast, and I've already calculated that it would be worth kicking it. So I'm keeping an eye on this paladin's cast bar, and as soon as I see the cast, I just turn around and use my focus target solar beam macro. So also do note that I'm turning my back to the paladin to make him think that I don't have my eyes on him, but I'm ready as fuck to just turn around and beam him. This is not me having fast reactions mostly. I was already preparing to get him on cast. So what I'm saying is you need some kind of game plan. You can't just run in and hit stuff and hope you kill something. That's never gonna work. Also, it should be said that you need to be able to keep your eye out for things like this while also maintaining your damage output, or healing if you're a healer. So if your damage or healing rotation is affected just because you can't focus on your rotation while looking out for things, you really just gotta play more so that the rotation part becomes automatic. This is the most basic thing you need to know. No good player is sitting there constantly looking at the reaction bar and actively thinking about their damage rotation. It's like when you learn to drive a car. Eventually you don't even think about the stick shift, you just know where it should go, and after you nail that down, you're gonna be able to keep your eyes on the mirrors, look behind your shoulder, etc. It's the same thing with WoW, and your damage rotation is your stick shift essentially. And the only tip I have to improve in this area is to simply play more. And to be honest, that goes for improving at anything. Just keep doing it and you will improve. I could make this video extremely simple by telling you that all you have to do is just play more, because that's true, that's how you become good at anything. There used to be a time where I would struggle to pull off a power chord on a guitar. It took me several seconds to put my fingers where they were supposed to go. But I kept playing and now it's as easy as snapping my fingers. Subscribe to my music channel, by the way, link in the description. Keep in mind that I probably have over 30,000 arena matches played, so if you're not anywhere near that in your statistics on your character, then don't blame yourself for not playing at my level. I've just seen the same situations play out over and over again, and I've tried all these different strategies, so I've just gotten so used to the game, and that's what happens when you keep playing. You just adapt. Alright, let's assume you've got this nailed down now. what's the next step you should think about? How do you win arena games in WoW? Let me tell you what a lot of people do not understand. When two teams are facing each other, casting spells, doing damage, shit's flying everywhere, it looks really flashy, and it might seem as if something is really going on, but I look at that as just dead time. The crucial moments are usually the moments when cooldowns are used. And yeah, that sounds pretty fucking obvious. I can already see most of you imagining a warrior popping wreck and blade storming or something, but that's not really what I mean. Where I want to get is that, and listen carefully here, because this is the most essential part of becoming better at PvP and to start winning more arena matches. So, arena is all about trading cooldowns. You want to use as little cooldowns as possible while forcing and countering as many as you can. All that dead time in between cooldowns where you're just hitting each other, that's not where the skillful plays or crucial moments happen most of the time. And I want to put extra emphasis on this because this is really what 3v3 is all about. Sometimes when I play, it will look like the enemy is totally dominating my team. They're destroying us in the opener, my whole team is on 30% health, and this might even be a morale boost for the enemy team. They might think they're doing really great. But what might really be going on is that we are just trying to live by using as little defensive cooldowns as possible. So we could look super cool by popping everything, and it would look good in that moment to not have our health move very much, but you have nothing afterwards. So this is why I'm saying WoW is all about trading cooldowns. You wanna try to force defensives from the enemy team without using your offensive cooldowns, and you wanna live their offensive cooldowns without using your defensives, if possible. And this is kind of the secret to my playstyle, I guess. You'll see me getting kicked on purpose all the time. I'll cast a spell school I don't even need, just to make them waste their kicks and have them feel good about that, but in reality I didn't really even need that spell. And I'm countering defensives such as Barkskin and Pain Suppression by cycloning the target as soon as possible so that they cannot be healed up. And before this cyclone ends, I put a clone on another target, their healer for example, and keep hitting the guy. And if he didn't receive any healing during the defensive duration, which I cloned, I've countered it perfectly. Another thing I like to do before popping my offensive cooldowns is to make them waste their DR on me. What do I mean by that? Well, I might go in and even try to get cycloned or feared 3 times, just so I can pop cooldowns without getting CC'd. And even if they stun me or something instead, I can just trinket that and keep bursting because they won't have anything else to stop it with most of the time. I think a lot of players are using defensives way too generously, so if I'm on my ult playing on lower rating, and let's say I'm hitting a druid, sometimes they will just skin because they took some damage. But now you don't have Barkskin, and I didn't even need to use any of my cooldowns to force that, so 1-0 to me. You have to use everything in your arsenal to use as little cooldowns as possible. If you can live dangerous situations without using your survival cooldowns, you're golden, and this is also where communication comes in. So, when I play arena and I face for example an RMP, if I know they're gonna go ham on me in a stun any moment, I will ask my healer beforehand if I should skin the next go, or if he wants to use his Earthen Totem instead, if he's a shaman of course. He will then calculate whether I can live without skinning or not and let me know. And of course all of this happens in just a second. It's not like we're sitting there having a long discussion. It basically just goes like, do I need to skin? And after that I'll receive either a yes or a no. And you never want to use your own defensives along with your healer's defensives, because if I were to use skin at the same time as my shaman used Earthen Totem, well, the next go on me I'm gonna have to trinket and use renewal. While if we didn't use both of our defensives at the same time earlier, we'd still be good on defensives and be able to live many more times of the RMP's setups, giving us more time to try and kill them. Also, you wanna save trinket for smoke bomb against RMP and try to live with other defensive than their normal goes. By the way, I don't want you to go in there and try to leave RMP openers or turbo cleaves without popping defensives. That's not what I'm saying. I just want you to understand how important it is to manage your cooldowns. And you need to learn to know when to use which defensive or when you don't need to use any. So don't go in there dying in openers thinking, well, Thyraz told me to just fucking die, so yeah, you get it. Also, the thing I hate most about Arena is that I don't have many teammates for a reason, okay? And that's because I filter out people all the time. I'd rather play with 2200 rated players who are chill and fun to play with than some raging, angry rank 1 nerds. Honestly, I cannot concentrate when my teammates get mad at either their own team or the game and they just keep whining during the matches constantly. It's just, I can't concentrate, I'm not having a good time, and that's gonna make me play worse as well. So don't be one of those guys, it's so pointless. And I don't even think they understand themselves how much they're affecting their team and maybe even their own playstyle. Just accept the game for what it is. Don't care too much if one spec is OP. I think everybody in your team already knows that, yeah, that class is OP, we're meeting a counter comp, whatever. Just do your best, try to win with the tools that you have, and then, yeah, it sucks if you lose, but just find people who are fun to play with and who are also at your skill level so you can improve together. Now, I had a pretty chill team here, but look at the enemy. They're spitting at us, they're clapping, and we actually were saying in our Discord that they were playing pretty good, so we were giving them compliments, you know. But after the match, I get a whisper from this guy in the enemy team, and he's pretty mad. And oh my god, it's just so cringeworthy. Just look at this. I mean, I don't even know this guy. I've never seen his name before, but he doesn't seem to like me. That's for sure. I think he needs to watch this video so he can learn. But yeah, anyways, just go in there with a positive attitude, guys. There's no point in being a fucking angry little kid. I see so much of that, and as soon as one of my teammates show themselves to be a rager, a whiner, you know, I don't want to play anymore. I don't care how good you are. It's just fucking annoying. It's not fun to play with you. And honestly, if you can't take losses ever, then I don't even think life is for you, to be honest, because you're gonna face a lot of losses. If you can't handle losing an arena match, life's gonna be really tough for you. And how the MMR systems work in games is that it's set up to try and make you lose half of the time. So you need to beat that percentage to increase your rating. So there are gonna be losses. It's just, you're set up, man. Essentially, it's kind of rigged. And as soon as you come to terms with that fact and accept it for what it is, it becomes easier to deal with losing. So I suggest people to just man the fuck up, stop being little puss, just play the fucking game and have a good time. Alright, before we end this video now, I'm gonna go over a few clips and add my commentary to it, so that you can know what I'm thinking during those situations and what's going on. So in certain PvP situations, it's like when something happens, it's like reading a Chinese sign for me. I see a player doing something and it just connects the dots and tells me what's gonna happen next. So if you look at Chinese, their language is really efficient, because you look at one sign and you have a whole sentence, and that's what's happening for me in some PvP situations. So if you look at this clip right here, you can see that the mage starts casting a greater pyroblast. And what would you do in this situation? I think most people would understand that they should loss behind this pillar, but you have to think a step further than that. So lossing behind that pillar is not gonna be enough, because I already know that this mage will blink to reach me. So I keep running even further behind the pillar, and he did not expect that. So when he blinked, I was out of sight for him to actually cast the pyroblast on me. This right here is also a really good clip. You can see that I've beamed the paladin, we hit the mage, and we are gonna force the ice block here, while I keep my clones on the paladin to prevent some healing. After these cyclones, I'm gonna bash the paladin. Yep, here comes the bash. He pops his cooldowns, and that's when I clone the mage and I totally counter his healing there. So the mage has no trinket either, he can't get out. The paladin is just wasting time on his avenging rat right now. I clone the mage again, as you see, the warrior is going low. The paladin has no fucking clue what to do right now. They're all low on health, and I think they're panicking really hard. And this is what you have to do. You have to be really smart with your playstyle. Don't be afraid to clone people on low health. It actually really sets them off when you clone a guy on low HP and start hitting another guy. And then you might clone that guy and go back on the other one that you hit in the first place. Now, I did fuck up in this clip. I mean, I think I could have killed the warrior really early if I just swapped to him and put a star switch on him. But I fell asleep, honestly. It looks really intense, this clip, but it's just standard arena gameplay for me. And I was just gearing my ult, so very casual arena match. But I really wanted to show this clip to showcase what I mean and how powerful Cyclone can be if you use it properly. Now, here's another clip that's gonna start off with us pressuring the Boomkin. And he gets really low health, he uses Bark Skin, but that's when I Cyclone him. And by cycloning him there, we also got him to Trinket, which is great. You shouldn't be mad about people trinketing your CCs, you should be happy they do that. That's what you want them to do. You gotta force their trinkets, force their defenses, and then you can set up kills. Alright, I think that's all I wanted to say for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my music channel, by the way. It's my biggest passion, and it's what I spend my time with mostly these days. Alright, dudes and dudettes, I'll see you in my next video. Have a good time.